You can be tricky. Do you know with omen ult you can dodge Killjoy ult?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're on site and let's say you're tucked in this box and they Killjoy ult, you ult at 2 seconds of the Killjoy ult, like that's when you click this. You can go away and then you can cancel your ult and you'll be back in this exact spot. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to join my Discord server linked below. This is where you can win a free coaching session for yourself, or you can subscribe and get a bunch of other benefits, like the ability to watch every single coaching session I've ever done. You can get your tracker reviewed live on stream, or you can sit in with me while I break down pro players' gameplay and explain why they do the things that they do. Or maybe you just want to enter sub wars and destroy some of my other subscribers live on stream. Anyways, enough selling out. Have a good one. What's our main focus for you right now? You've tuned into enough of these. What's your main focus that you're trying to improve on as a player?
Yeah, so there were a couple things that I took away from the free session in the evening a couple weeks ago. The first was I'm trying to take more duels because I was really afraid to fight, and I was always trying to like outthink the opponent. I still think I'm doing that some of the time, but I'm definitely taking more duels now. Responding to opponent plans rather than just saying like, hey, let's default or let's go A. It's more like trying to identify where the opponents play and then reacting to that. Utility purpose was a big one. I was blind a sage wall over and over again in the first VOD, which you know, upon reviewing, I was like, I have no idea why I was doing that, but at the time, it felt good.
Let's go ahead and get started. Let's listen to our pre-round.
Raze, I can blind up and TP on top of rubble.
Okay, that's good. So you can also ask for teammates utility if you want to. So like if you like, you know, for example, you have Raze deadlock and you here. So, you know, a deadlock nade into a Raze nade into a blind usually results in free kills if they come here.
Sure. You too.
So you could have asked for that style of utility. That's the only thing I really have a correction for with your pre-round plan. You're doing exactly what you need to for when you're first learning. So it's good.
Yeah, I think I have a tendency to overcom occasionally. So I'm trying to limit it a bit.
Perfect. This is a crosshair placement moment. Why are you putting your crosshair here? Do you mind me asking?
I thought that was head level. Yeah, I'm just bad.
All right, fair enough. That, you know what? That is a valid answer, and I don't mind it. That was valid.
I'm gonna just chill on tree and shoot them if they open the door.
Okay. So when you're on eco rounds, there's a really fun strategy that you can start to do, and it's like super easy.
The 5-man cram and tree strat?
It doesn't matter what it is, but you should be attempting to get your team to rally and gamble together and have fun. Okay. Right? I consider eco rounds morale boosters. Right? Eco equals morale plus. Right? And the reason why is because like odds are you're gonna lose a round anyway. So let's just have some fun, right? I don't care. Do you guys want to 5 fucking run it down A and fight them all together? Do you guys want to all 5 sit tree and hope that they go A and then like you know, do something silly, right? I don't really care what you do, but I want it to be together, right? Okay. And like a moral bonding experience. Or right, let's say you're on attack, or like maybe you want to do whatever. You can go farm the orbs too. So like let's say you make the plan originally to fight up A. Just be like, yeah, everyone, let's come A. Let's all fight A main. If nobody's here, we can have Deadlock or Sky or Raze grab the ult orb, and then we can just like fast flank them, right? Just something together and like look to contest orbs kind of is your general consensus.
Sure. I wind up sitting tree a few rounds in this match, and they never once come tree this entire game. So I do stop, but it takes me a few rounds to figure it out.
Yeah, so you should be played traditionally until round 4, and then you should be going off of reads of what you notice. That's usually
I think I do it until round 5.
Yeah, so playing in tree though isn't really traditional, right? It's more of like a read play of like you think, or it's like a rotational play. So what I mean by traditional is like fighting A main and like just limit testing. Remember, our goal for you is to figure out what your limits are. And if you can keep blinding this and you can keep fighting this and you can keep winning, then keep doing it. That's kind of the way you kind of want to view it. It's like, oh, I can keep doing this and I can keep getting away with it. Who fucking cares? like yeah, I'm just going to keep ramming them in, but we'll see what goes on here.
I think our friend at A is leaving.
The bulldog. Spectre.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
I completely forgot.
So, I like that you're taking more fights, but what do we do in a +2 situation?
We find a teammate
to take a fight with. Yeah. Right? That's our plan. Here we opened the door and we took the fight by ourselves, which could cause us to lose a round. And it doesn't, right? Our teammate bails out, right? It was very, very close, right? So that's all you want to think about right there. That's how you self-reflect at like goal. It's like, oh, I took the fight by myself in a +2 situation. I'm a little silly for that one.
Yeah.
Right, and then here, You're buying a Judge. I would just buy a Vandal, by the way. You won the round. You can full buy here. Buy the Vandal. You had the correct buy, and then you switch over the Judge to play Tree for whatever reason. Like maybe you're like thinking. Go ahead.
I can tell you why, and maybe you just tell me this is a horrible idea. So I'm addicted to this play on Lotus that has worked for me a bunch, where you sit on the left side of the door, and when they open it, they like hard clear the right side and rush through. So you can walk out the door and then walk in behind and get like a triple kill. It's worked for me like 6 times or some insane number.
Ring Around the Rosie does work pretty well. I won't lie. That's what I call it. I call it Ring Around the Rosie. My only problem with it, it's something that you have to do later into the game. It can work earlier, but like on a round where you have the economic advantage going into a close range fight when they have Phoenix Flash and Fade Dogs, especially if like the other person knows. So for example, when I open the door and I back up and I hold from here.
Yeah. That has happened to me a couple times, and it's a hard counter to my
yes, it's a hard counter. So it's like it's one of those things you kind of have to read, and this is just like this gives you so little options when you buy the Judge and you sit Tree. It's like your options now become very limited, right?
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, we haven't tested whether or not we can like just shoot them in the face.
Right.
We haven't done the OD26 rule. Can we just shoot them in the face?
Do you want smoke? Yeah.
Okay, if you know that he's ulting B, don't even ask if you want smoke. Just smoke it.
You want smoke?
Screw this guy.
Okay.
You don't have to ask for smokes if you know the smoke's objectively good. Because it's like, so what you're doing as a smokes player here is you're essentially adding a middleman, right? The middleman equals, I want to throw smoke, me smoke, right? You go over, hover smoke, and then you ask for smoke, question mark, and then you smoke, right? This is a lot, right? Instead, it could be just be me smoke. You're literally adding these two because you have to hover and wait and then ask and then get confirmation, right?
Yeah.
Where this is the chain of command of if you just decide to smoke. Now, if you have an opper, don't smoke off the fucking opper. But if you don't have an opper, you're basically given free reign because any other gun other than an op, you are giving an advantage to when you smoke off the choke.
So much of my behavior in this game is motivated by fear. Like I've been yelled at for that smoke so many times by teammates when I feel like it's a good smoke that now I'm just paranoid.
Yeah, so here's the general consensus. If somebody's in gold and they're yelling at you for something you did, odds are they fucking suck.
Sure.
So you should not be taking their word seriously. Now, obviously, be emotional, be empathetic. Be like, okay, I won't smoke that. I'll wait for your calm, right? And then go from there. Like after they yell at you, you can be like, okay, whatever. But the better consensus is just to be like, oh yeah, I smoked that for whatever reason, like XYZ reason, and just have a conversation with them. And if they yell at you, you can either mute them or you can just fucking, say, all right, I won't do it next time. I'm sorry. But if they didn't communicate their play with you and you smoked off a choke because they were hitting the site, that is the correct thing to do. Like that is correct, right? Just know you have OD26's permission to do it. But then again, nobody's caught me, so I'm not going to be like, oh yeah. You really like going this way. I like it though. My only concern when you go this way, right? Well, one, we can look at your crosshair placement the whole time. We have a big crosshair placement issue when we're kind of like idling. It's like when you believe somebody could be there, your crosshair placement's not bad. But right now I can tell you're probably like looking at the minimap and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, someone could be here. And then now we're looking at the minimap again, our crosshairs here. Right? Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So if you are going B and you're looking to go to this door, you should go up here unless you know where all of them are, clear this, and then come back and open the door.
Oh.
This is called re-clearing, right? Essentially, this exists on literally a lot of maps. Like, so for example, here, you come out here, you clear grass, and then you go back and do your retake garage, right? So you're going to clear this corner and look to see if anyone's holding, see if anybody's out here, right? That's essentially your goal on Haven, right? Moving on to Ascent, it's the exact same concept. If you're going A, you're re-clearing tree, right? It's the same thing here. If you're going through mid, you're re-clearing mid. You can clear this corner if you want to, and then you can go back into market, right? You see this a lot in like professional play, everywhere, right?
Yeah.
On basically every map, this kind of like heckin' exists. And the whole purpose is if there is a late lurker, you're basically anticipating that late lurker, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, could there be a super late lurk? Yeah, but we don't worry about the 1%. They're gonna not expect you here because of the wait time. Ooh, nice shot. This is a beautiful peek with intention. I like this from you. You had murder on your mind when you swung this guy. Good shit.
Thanks.
Oh, I would have blinded. It's okay.
Yeah, the teammate calmed waterfall for his ult, and the one huge video I had seen is when your team says something, you just do it no matter what.
Yeah, so I agree. When your team says something, you do it no matter what, unless you're in a 1vx. If you were the only one alive, you have full permission to ignore what they do when you don't know. Because effectively, do you know where this guy is anymore?
Nope. No idea.
No, right? So you have no clue. I 100% agree. If your teammate says blind, you fucking blind. Unless this situation presents itself, where you're 1v2, 1v3, and you have the exact same information they do, then you just do whatever you want. Switching C, this is fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna jiggle for deep line info, or we're gonna take the fight. Oh. Okay, we're flash, and then we're gonna push up.
Yeah.
I like that from you. Oh wait, what? Eh. Okay.
Yeah, KJ put her drone up.
They're going A.
I probably would have just flanked here if I'm being real.
Okay, so I feel like I flank too often, so I'm trying to do it less, especially against Killjoys, Cyphers, and Chamber.
Yep.
Yeah, just because I feel like I run into their trip and then my flank is pointless, or I just, you know, wind up running fully into it and then I die. So
Well,
I've tried to like make the chain more, but I don't know if I'm timing it, if I'm
so
overcorrecting.
when you're flanking, instead of saying, oh, I flanked too much, you need to understand when flanking in that specific game is too much. Flanking too much as a general concept isn't necessarily a thing, because there can be some games where you flank 10 times and it makes sense, and there can be some games where you flank 0 times and it makes sense.
Okay.
In this situation, this game, we know that Killjoy kind of works sometimes, right? And they play kind of fast, but not really, right? They kind of sit and idle for like 20 seconds, but they usually make a bunch of contact in the place that they want to go in the first 10 seconds of the round. And then they usually all go there with maybe one work, right? That's kind of your concept that you have, right?
Right.
And when you're playing Omen, as long as you know the common turret spot, you can usually just smoke off the trips.
Yeah, like Sam did in that video
Yeah,
earlier.
like Sam did in the vid earlier, right? Exactly.
Interesting.
So it's like you can smoke off the trips, and then your flank becomes even stronger because they think that the shit's being watched, and it's not at all.
Yeah, one thing I've started to do is TP past trips, and that seems to work really well.
Exactly. It's the exact same concept, like TPing past, smoking, right? Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Right now, whenever you smoke, so for example, the most common place for a Killjoy turret, if I'm being real, is this little corner right here. So it's like here, right here. It's like the most common place.
Oh, okay.
This place or right here is the most common places. But if it's here, you want to layer your smoke so it's like this. So that way it doesn't go through the wall, right? Because smoke will obviously go through the wall and they'll see that you smoked it off.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I would have smoked for my teammate here, but yeah. Like smoked for my team. Like the second you realize they were still taking contact, I would have smoked for them. Let me know when you want the blind.
30 seconds left.
Shoot.
Stealing sight.
Nice.
Spike planted.
So instead of saying let me know when you want the blind, whenever you see the fucking mini map pop up with somebody on it, you can just blind them. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's gonna provide you a lot of value either way.
Spike planted.
Well, assuming like based off your teammate's position, right? Not all the time, but like you can tell your teammates are taking fights based off their positions, right?
Yeah.
And if your teammates are taking fights and you see somebody on the minimap with the blind, that equals send it. Just fucking send it.
Let me know when you want the blind.
30 seconds left.
For now, once you get like really high, we'll talk about it. But for now, I just want you to ingrain that concept in your head.
Enemy remaining.
Because 90% of the time it'll be good. And then here, this is just an audio thing. You hear the guy towards B side. Okay, so in case you don't know, this might be something you don't know actually. There's actually a way to tell, even if you didn't hear his gunshots, that this guy's on B site. Do you know how?
He planted the bomb.
No, planting the bomb. Even if he didn't plant the bomb, there's actually another way to tell.
Oh, for real?
But yeah,
no, I don't know.
Yeah, so if you pay attention to bodies, the way they fall is the opposite direction of where they got shot from.
Oh my god.
So if you see the body fall forward here, that means that this guy's over here. If the body falls to the side, so for example, if we see it, I'll show you throughout the game, but yeah, essentially any direction the body falls, the opposite of that direction is where that person shot from.
Wow, yeah.
This is the case every time.
Dude, yeah.
Okay, why is what you just did troll?
Because it's a jet smoke and it's gonna go down in like half a second.
No, that's not why.
Oh, okay, then I don't know.
Okay, so when you are with a teammate in a 2v1, obviously you want to get to your teammate as fast as possible, but one, we didn't communicate with our jet. Hey, wait for me, I'm coming, let's take the fight together. And then number two, if you ever are smoking in a defusal situation, like you are the defenders and you need to defuse, you should just be smoking off the bomb. Notice how you smoked off the choke here?
Yeah, yeah.
So I guarantee you, as we continue to watch this round, this is either going to become a spam battle of like, we have to tap the bomb, they can spam us, or like, you know, it's just going to be like this 50-50 of something that's really unreliable for us to win, like consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we probably
That's exactly
wouldn't.
what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's like we tap the bomb, and this guy might spam us, who knows. But then they ping the spike, and then they spam us, or we just wait here. Right, he just assumes you're not on, doesn't walk through.
Yeah.
You tap again, and now he knows it's not even halved because of the audio,
Yeah.
and then he runs through, right? So whatever. It's just like a really big gambly kind of style of play. Think about this, right? You are in the smoke. If he wants to run into the smoke, you have the advantage, right? 100%. Like, you will always have the advantage. Yep. You'll see his gun, and he doesn't know exactly where you are. You can be anywhere in the smoke. And then number two, on top of like smoking the bomb, like, he doesn't know still whether you're on the bomb or not. You could just stick it. So he has to make the aggressive play on you, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for
it's a
sure.
combination of both. You should go spawn
Deadlock,
here.
I'm coming to you.
Oh, okay. I know you want to play with your deadlock here, but the problem that comes in this situation is we don't have this area, and if they push into this area, we lose the round. If we both go here.
Okay.
So if we go here and they've pushed in, we lose. But if we go here and they pushed in, then we at least get the 50-50. And a 3v3 taking a 50-50 isn't bad, agreed?
Yeah, that makes sense. Partially because I can trade it, I guess, but also because, like, if I win, then it's just...
Yeah, then you have the advantage. And I trust myself to win, then the enemies.
Last player standing.
I like the attempts to group up. I think you were a little scared of the damage here.
Yes, for sure. I should have just run through.
Yeah, if you just ran through, you're peaking at the same time as a deadlock. This is going to do maybe 40 to 50 damage.
Last player standing.
Which I'm down to take if I can. That means I get to take a fight with my teammate. Other than that, though, you had a lot of opportunities to win this fight. I think you just kind of panicked.
Yep, for sure.
Dog comes out. You see nothing.
They're coming A.
They got flooded.
Okay, this is what you realize. Okay, pay attention to your body language. Ready? Watch, watch, watch. This is your fear.
Yep.
You hear them?
Coming A.
And you want to get back to the
Back
corner.
up. Yeah.
But at this point, you've already walked forward and you know they're here. Just commit. Like, it is time. Like, gun mode activated. We cannot escape anymore. Like, it's not possible. We know we're going to have to kill 2 people from this angle, and you just have to know that. If you are out in the open, instead of fight, it should just be fight. Like, just fight. Right?
They got flooded.
Because truthfully, I think if you were just full prepped to win this fight, you probably kill both of these people. Obviously, if you're taking that 1v1 on that line, right, and you see multiple people, don't keep fighting, but...
Yeah.
Perfect. I like this from you. Okay, that smoke. No. We're here. We're in fight mode.
Yeah.
It's no longer util mode. It's fight mode. We're in the action. The smoke here. It's funny enough. The smoke is actually usually good for the enemy team, but that's not good. It's like debatable, right? The reason why it's not bad for the enemy team is because it essentially allows them to cross and just control rubble, and then they don't have to actually physically fight you, right? They just sit here once the smoke dissipates, and then you just kind of die.
Cover going out. Satchel out.
Jet go through tree with me, yeah?
Behind the box.
Reloading. Shadows traveling.
Okay.
Behind the box.
We went out the eye, we get smoked off, we go through tree.
Reloading.
This smoke just needs to come faster. Okay. This is where you need to recognize your role as, like, whatever, right? So you have a couple options. You right now are currently smoking for the people that are coming out of tree. Agreed? That's what you're smoking for, right? One, the smoke needs to come faster because you guys need to be able to scale. You shouldn't be throwing your smoke as your teammate gets to the choke. You should be throwing your smoke as your teammate's running to the choke, right? So like about right here, you'd enter smoke form and then throw it because your smoke not only has travel time, but it also has like bloom time and your teammate has travel time too, right? So it's like, if you throw the smoke when your person's at the choke, then they then have to wait even longer for that smoke to then bloom and then go, right? It's just a little misconception there. Following that, if you throw the smoke here, it's not the greatest because your teammates here can't scale to meet you guys, right? They're stuck because of this angle.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to decide, right? Traditionally, it's better for you to smoke here and let your teammates take the fights here, right? Onto the same elevation. Smoke here and let your teammates take this fight onto this dry ground, right? And then you guys walk out because when you're aiming, your crosshair is either going to be here or it's going to be here, right? Which is a very small adjustment when you think about it, right? It's not like the greatest adjustment. So it's a little bit easier for you to handle that than it is for them. On top of that, though, as Omen, I don't like to go tree personally. I like to go here and then blind from here. So this way, I'm not going to hit any of my teammates as they scale. Because they scale this way, not hitting them. They scale this way, I'm not hitting them. But you notice as tree, you kind of thought about blinding, but you couldn't because your teammates would be in front of you, right? So I like to blind from this cubby spot or this corner spot here.
Pull out. Cover going out. Time to hunt. Shadows traveling.
Behind the box, behind the box.
Stealing
Oh, man.
These are good smokes, good blind. So when you're taking B, you should ask for your Sky to buy 2 flashes. You should ask for him to flash right here. This will clear the box for you guys, right? Because think about bubbled information, right? We talked about this in the Subversive VOD. And then from there, you just have him flash out of the smoke for you guys. And then you throw these smokes in this blind, and then boom, you guys are golden. First 4 rounds, just run it down.
Phoenix pushed up B. He might now know we're here.
Get out of my way.
Oh, perfect. I like that from you. Whoa, 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 whoa! We don't have the sight!
My ultimate is ready. Shadows.
Oh, it's bad.
And the worst part is
bad.
the bomb gets down and you get into a post plant, so you get dopamine that what you did was good here.
I know. It feels bad to rewatch.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it does.
I remember thinking at the time, like,
she's
thank
on
God I
ropes.
got it down so early.
I love that from you.
Enemy remaining.
NT.
Stairs. God, it feels horrible to watch. Yeah. All right.
You're good. The thing is, okay, I know it feels bad to watch and it feels awkward, but like the thing is, honestly, you should never like actually feel down about it because everyone progresses. There was a time where my gameplay looked the exact same as yours, by the way. I was silver.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's
just remember
that's hard
that.
to remember.
Yeah, you always need to remember that just because your gameplay is bad now, you are taking the proactive steps to become a better player in the future. So you should never beat yourself up for what you're looking at currently. Because the work you're putting in today, 6 months from now, it's going to show. Right?
Yeah.
6 months from now, you're going to be like, damn, I'm really glad I sat in those VOD reviews with OD. I'm really glad that I did my drills, right? And you're going to be happy because you'll probably be like, honestly, if you put in like consistent day-to-day work, you played like 4 or 5 games a day, I wouldn't be shocked 6 months. You're like, you know, Ascendant, Immortal, something along those lines, right?
Wow.
You have the good work ethic, right? And you're very objective about yourself as a person. You know, you don't give yourself any slack. You're not rude. You literally said, oh, I was being toxic, and all you said was deadlock shot towards Seaside. Like, that's how, like, you are like, you're good. You're good, trust me. Don't worry about it. And for, like, you know, you're putting in the right work, and that's all that matters, right?
Planning for sand. Planning for sand.
But yeah, just don't beat yourself up too much. It's a moral of the story.
Heal up.
Thanks. Yeah, I will work on it.
Spike planted.
Why do you go back mount here? I'm curious. Give me your reason.
Yeah, this is one of the things I wrote about in the like video description. I had planted for sand, so I just like dead-brained thought, okay, now I go to sand. And it wasn't until I was out here that I realized, like, oh man, my Jet and Raze are pushed up. I should just go to one of them.
No, so actually you going sand here is objectively correct.
Oh really? Oh man. Okay. Fair enough.
So this is the thing though. This is a beautiful part of it all. This is going correct, but you need to communicate. Let's all play sands because you can all 5 play sands here. There's 2 reasons why. Can you give me them?
We have the deadlock wall down that covers the lurk, and we have a 5-on-3 advantage, so we can trade.
Okay, the 5-on-3 advantage is correct. There's actually 3 things. I forgot about that. Whatever. The 5-on-3 advantage is correct. I forgot about that. The deadlock wall doesn't really matter because they can shoot through it, so it's kind of annoying, right?
Okay.
Honestly, I'd rather not have this deadlock wall here. It's more objectively annoying to me, but like, you know, it's whatever, right? But the thing is, they don't have smokes to cover the bomb. They have jet smokes, but those go away. You can spam it, right? And then they have a Killjoy ult, so if you play on site, you're going to be forced out of sight anyway.
Right.
So you going here is not that bad. Now, the problem with Killjoy ult is that it's kind of fucking annoying in the sense that, actually, I take back what I said, because this ult covers everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I take it back. Pushing waterfall is the correct play. Fuck it. 5v3, run them down waterfall.
Enemy spotted C.
Or you can be tricky. Do you know with omen ult you can dodge Killjoy ult?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're on site, and let's say you're tucked in this box and they Killjoy ult, you ult at 2 seconds of the Killjoy ult, like that's when you click this. You can go
Yeah.
away, and then you can cancel your ult, and you'll be back in this exact spot.
Oh, that's so interesting. I just learned the other day that while you're like in mid TP at your destination, you can get hit by breach ult, and that got me killed in a match. So that felt really
Yeah,
bad,
you can also dodge breach ult with mid
Yeah.
TP.
That's really cool. Good to know.
I was playing a ranked game one time, and I TP'd over a breach ult and then won the round. And my team's like, I didn't even know you can do that. It was like a Mortal 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, yup.
That's amazingly cool.
It's a little tricky.
Your fear.
I understand why you aimed up here and you snapped down. This is just a mechanics thing. Honestly, I'm fine with it.
What
Player
is there a better way that I should have handled it?
No, you're fine. This is just like, as your mechanics get better, you'll kill that guy.
Nice.
You were aiming for his hover, and he dashed forward, and then your adjustment was just bad. That's all. Not a big deal.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, do we just run it down and win? Like we ran it down B with the one work, then we start
I
working
think-
again,
Yeah.
and we're running it down B again though. It's like, notice though, our team is running it down and we're working, like whatever. That's fine with me, right? Like as long as we're still attempting to run it down, and you know that these guys play aggressive, and you're just like playing for the work, that's okay with me too. But the general concept here is notice how we're running it down and we're winning again.
Yeah. So I can play off the team as long as they're aggressive.
Yeah, you can play off of them, right? You are basically going for like, I mean, this is more of like a tilted work and it just ends up working out. But like if you were paying attention to the enemy team's progression, right? Who are their flankers, right? You know that basically every time they try to push out, like every single time they've done it, agreed? Like everyone on their team, it's like everyone on their team has tried to flank.
I've noticed Jet and KJ. I guess I hadn't noticed the others.
Well, Jet, KJ, and like there was one time with Brimstone, right? Because Brimstone was up here, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep, he was.
So you've noticed that basically the majority of them try to flank. So it doesn't matter which side of the map you work on. But you should also notice that your team won when you're just running it down, right? So now you're going for the person that's, you know, running it down, like flanking, and they're going for the run it down style. And this is the way you're playing around the team. Now you did this off of tilt, but it actually was like the correct thing to do because you guys were just running it down and winning, and then you're collecting free kills on flanks,
Ribbons,
Right.
faders.
which is fine because you have cross map support util.
You should
KJ.
run.
This blind is
Yeah.
sad.
For no one and nothing. Yeah.
You should
KJ.
run.
Definitely a little spooky blind though.
Ping bomb. Ping bomb.
One enemy remaining.
Lots of 1
Let's fucking go. Good job, team.
Let's
Attackers.
fucking go. Good job, team. I love that from you. All right, so general consensus. General, right? We still need to test waters more. We are scared to take fights / play aggressively, right?
Yes.
Number 2. Okay. Attack. Right, we want to pay attention to these things. So when we're on attack, we want to pay attention to who are their flankers, right? Where do they play? How fast do they rotate? These things, if our run it down strat isn't working. Right, that's what we want to focus on attack, and then util usage. Util usage still needs to be more precise, like more reasoning. Does that make? I don't know how to phrase that.
Yeah,
We're just
yeah.
gonna say more reasoning.
I'm just throwing util where I think they are rather than trying to open space for a teammate or
Yeah.
myself.
Yep. So, and then defense. What we really want to continue focusing on is we need to keep attempting to read the enemies. And then, once again, don't be afraid to fight for space. First time you lose, it's luck. Right?
love
You're
it.
just like constantly respecting them. I just want you to like not respect the enemies, basically, until they've earned that respect, right? And then also general or mechanics, mechanics / crosshair placement still low. Placement still low, and then what is it? You need to just commit to the fight when you're out in the open instead of trying to run away. And then plus two situations, find a buddy, right? Find a buddy to take a fight with. Remember, we're not playing passive, we're finding a buddy to proactively take a fight with.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let me go ahead.
Especially in +2 situations.
Yep, that's our goal. So there you go. Went ahead and sent you your notes there.
Awesome.
The biggest things you kind of want to remember from this entire VOD is we need to not be scared. I do not care, right? But we still want to be tactical, right? I'm not saying to take brain dead fights, because you take brain dead fights and you'll respect them too easily, right? You still want your fights to be strategical, but you shouldn't be scared to take those fights, right? We just need to continuously attempt to read the enemy, and that needs to be what our play is based off of. But yeah, if we're running it down, just don't stop, please. Like you were winning, you were running it down, then you started playing slow, and then you lost 3 rounds in a row, then you got tilted and you worked, but then your team ran it down and you guys ended up winning again. It was kind of funny. It's kind of funny when you think about it.